Greetings and salutations. Nginamukele kuYeyeye Show. Namhlanje sizobe sixoxisana nenye insizwa ebhale incwadi emnandi. Isihloko sayo sithi A Letter to My Mentee. Incwadi lena ngithema ngifunde impela ngayazi ukuthi hayi iyacija lensizwa ngempela ngicija ngempela. So ngase ngibone ukuthi mhlambe uma ngingakwazi ukuba ne-interview nalensizwa, baningi abantu abazokwazi ukuthi bacijeke ngoba phela inhloso ukuthi sonke sicijeke sakheke sebe lento kufanele sibe yiyo. So ngiyacela ke namhlanje nihlale nathi ezingixoxiswana noRotwanda Masindi, insizwa lana ngempela ebhala incwadi ethe mangifunda yangithinta. So ngicela nibe nami ke bafethu ngisaya kulensizwa ngempela siyoxoxisana nayo ukuthi sizwe impela ukuthi yiziphi izinto angasihlomisa ngazo kule ncwadi yakhe ayibhaliye, A Letter to My Mentee. Ngisaya kuyona ke njengamanje. Hey, Mr. Rotwanda.
How are you?
I'm good, how are you?
I'm well, thanks.
Welcome to Yeye Show.
Thank you so much. Thank you so
Yo,
much.
man, firstly, thank you so much for, making time to have this interview with me, because
Yes.
I'm a biggest fan, you
Your
know.
biggest fan.
I-
I'm your biggest fan. What do you mean you're my biggest fan?
Man, yeah, I started reading your book. When was it? Today is Saturday. So I started
Yes.
reading your book on Thursday, you know. Man, I was glued, you know.
You're glued on it.
I was glued.
That's
And,
interesting.
I'm sorry to say this, but not that I undermine people who are, accountants or anything
Oh,
like
wow.
that. But somehow it's difficult to
Yeah.
associate, I don't know, that level of writing.
Yeah.
Especially when I look at you being an accountant,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
And for me, that firstly that stood out for me because
Wow.
you will think people, especially people who are like into commerce or
Yeah.
you'll think their level of thinking is all about numbers and
About
all that,
numbers, yeah, I get that.
But when I saw your level of literature, I was
Yeah.
like, wow, man.
Really?
The way you are expressing yourself on this book, I'm wowed,
Wow, that's
So
good,
I
that's
think
good,
for
that's
me, that's why the first thing that I told Nompilo was, this
Yeah.
guy's a good writer,
Wow.
because I think that's where we made a mistake, because we make a mistake most of the time. We think just because we can make a collection of words and put them
Yeah.
on a document, then
Yeah.
we've become writers.
Exactly.
But the ability to choose words, as you express yourself,
Yeah.
I think for me, that was quite something.
Thank you
So
so much.
today we are discussing A Letter to My Mentee.
Yes.
This is a book to
That's the
read.
book.
This is a book to read. And
must read.
this guy next to me,
Yeah.
I'm going to be really, really getting so much on regarding this discussion,
Yeah.
So, firstly, man, there's one thing that stands out for me. I think there's something about a first book, and people can write 10, 100 books,
Yeah.
but there's always something unique about a first book that a person gets to release.
Yeah.
From what I've seen with a lot of people, you find that it's maybe takes them like 5 years some to finally put
Yeah,
that book
to put it-
together.
yeah.
It's not something that somebody just wakes up overnight and then
Exactly.
decide to write a book.
Yeah.
So just take me through the journey on how you came about to put this book together.
Okay, so actually I started writing my book in 2017.
Mm,
And then by 2018 March, I was done with it.
yeah.
And then
2018 March.
2018 March.
So I
was
like
done
that.
with it.
Something was pushing you there. I'm gonna get through that as well. Yeah.
So from there, I started looking for a publisher,
Mm,
and I got a guy from home, and
Yeah.
then we started talking about it. But then later on, I realized that actually we did not agree on things. So like, no, I cannot continue. Like, this is my first book. I need to be happy with everything.
man.
Because like the font that they were using
Yeah.
to publish their book,
Sure.
it was something that was different to what
Yeah.
I want for
You
my
see?
first book.
That's so
So-
big. That's so big what you're saying. Sorry to cut
Yeah,
you there.
okay.
It's so big what you're saying, because I need
Yeah.
to highlight that, because normally at that stage people will be so desperate that,
Exactly.
no, I just want to see myself having
Yeah.
published a book. I don't care
Yeah,
how the
yeah,
book comes,
yeah.
But for you, it comes across as if you knew what you needed,
Exactly.
So that
So-
for me, I think it stands out,
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry about that. Yeah.
Okay, it's cool.
Yeah.
So, and then I continued, and then I also got, like, the feedback that I also got from that company, it kind of made me feel like, okay, my book is not worth it. It's like someone is
sure.
disregarding your work, and you be like, okay, so what do? okay, maybe I'm not an author. I shouldn't be becoming one. So I started to have this kind of thought. But then I started to remember, like, okay, why did I start with it at the first place? Why did I want to write a book?
Wow.
So those things, it pushed me. And then that's when I started interacting with people. I got cell phone number from this other guy. Actually, I got to buy his book, and then he came actually to my home, and then we connected. We talked about his book, and then from there, I told him also that okay, I was also writing a book, and then that's when I was like, okay, that's nice, and then he decided to edit my book, and then when he edited my book, when it was done, he was like, wow, this is talent right here, and then I was like, really? So this is from a published author.
Sure.
He's saying like, I've got a talent in writing.
Yeah.
I was super excited. I was like, okay, we're going back to this thing. I'm gonna go back, edit my book. So I didn't like disregard what the guys from the other publishers were saying concerning the feedback. Because I believe as people we need to take both, good and bad feedback.
That's wisdom.
Yeah,
that's wisdom.
Exactly that's what I did. I went back, and then the worst thing that happened, when I was editing that draft, it got corrupted. Like, it got corrupted. So it was like, now, okay, I've already had an attempt and it was disregarded. And then I made another one. And you know what? The same one, it got a virus. So I talked to people like Monty because, okay, I knew that Monty did, these computer things.
That's correct.
But he was like, no, you cannot help and all those things. So I couldn't recover the document. So I had to go back and actually, So to me, it was like, now you're going back to edit something, but now you have more wisdom, on that thing. So it actually gave me time to rework my work.
Sure.
And then, so from that point, 2018 to 2019, I was working on it.
Yeah.
And then comes 2020, I met a publisher, and it didn't even take too long. I think by a month, we're done with it, with everything.
Wow.
We put everything together, the layouts and everything. And then, the book was there.
Resilience.
Yo,
man. I think that's something that somebody might need to hear. Because, things, for an example, it's in the music industry. You know, when we see somebody releasing an album, somehow our minds think, oh, this person just started working on this project like 3 months back, and now they are big, But when you read around them or you watch their documentaries, you see them. I was reading about these other guys. In fact, they were talking on Facebook how they would go to Joburg and sleep at the park. You know, today they are big. You know, I can easily mention their names because they put it on their own pages. Zagwe and Duncan. You know, those are my favorite artists from hip hop artists from KZN. You know, those guys are like, they're the best, the way they choose their words, But when you look at their journey, how they never let these other things that were happening around them, to affect them. In fact, they use those things to inspire themselves, and push themselves. So, man, I'm happy for you to say that because somebody who's watching needs to hear that, when we get onto those podiums, we look as if we had it easy, but there are things that have happened in the background. And right now, as we talk, somebody's battling with something, but it would be very important for them to understand that, I talk about passion, that when you're passionate, I work around the clock doing what I love and I don't feel it, because I love it. It's passion, So, looking at the title, A Letter to My Mentee, I think for me, that was like, wow, and, I anticipated so much from the book just by reading the title. And when I started reading the book, I was so amazed and wowed at how you tried by all means, to tackle all the elements that pertain to mentorship, so out of all titles that you would have written and maybe made them to be your first book, what made you and what stood out for you that compelled you to go all out and say, I'm gonna write about mentorship, a letter to my mentee?
So basically I was inspired by the mentees that I had in 2017. So at that time I think we were only still mentoring kids from grade 12. So I really had a wonderful year with them. So I was like, there are a lot of young people in South Africa
Yeah.
that I was not mentoring,
Sure.
who need the same guidance that those guys obtain from me.
Mm.
So it's like, I need to write that down, because when you're mentoring people, they come to you, with different issues. And like now, when you try to help them, you're getting experiences with
Yeah.
different people.
Yeah.
But you know that there are also young people who are in matric,
Yeah.
who are at varsity,
Yeah.
we are also going through the same thing. So how about if I come up with a concept, to actually get to introduce mentorship to people?
Yeah.
Because I kind of feel like mentorship is something that has been underrated here in our country. So I
Sure.
wanted this book to be that turning point,
Yeah.
for people to actually get to see
Yeah,
that
yeah,
mentorship is important, because I believe that we can actually go far when you have a mentor.
Wow.
So I actually wrote on this book that there's a lady that I quoted from this book who said that every great achiever is inspired by a great mentor.
Sure.
And from that,
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah,
yes,
yeah,
I want to
yeah,
I want to be an inspiration
Yeah.
to other people.
Yeah.
And I also want to inspire other people to inspire other people as well. Because I also wrote it on my book that my mission statement, my personal mission statement, is to make an impact that matters.
Yeah.
So
and I'm not gonna lie, you've made it.
Yeah.
You have really fulfilled that. You
Yeah.
know, and I like what you're saying, because as
Yeah.
you're explaining it, and also relating to the book as I've
Yeah.
read it, you
Yeah.
know, I see what you're saying. You know,
Yeah.
sometimes you will fish using a fishing rod,
Yeah.
and also there's this other option of casting a net.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
when I look at you and what you've achieved with this
Yeah.
book, it seems as if it was so pressing in your heart,
Yeah,
and you
yeah.
felt, let me just cast a net, you know.
Yeah.
And looking at the topics that you've covered in this book,
Yeah.
I think for me it really says it all, you know.
Yeah.
And another thing that I like the most about the book, you
Yeah.
know, I like how you use your own stories as well. You know,
Yes,
you
yes.
you sort of share some of your experiences.
Yeah. Yeah.
And interestingly as well, you
Yeah.
know, you are not shy to use your
Yeah.
failures,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
as I read along, you know, I found myself getting encouraged by your
Yeah.
failures and
Yeah.
how those failures are becoming part of your journey and your
Exactly,
story.
exactly.
And I look at you where you are now, you know,
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
look at your journey, I look at your failures, you know.
Yeah.
It's like this canvas, you know,
Yeah, yeah,
with
yeah.
some of the things that maybe at the beginning they were
Yeah.
looking as if they were faults, you know,
Exactly.
but somehow they are making this final
Yeah,
picture
yeah.
a beautiful thing, you
Exactly.
know. I'm well aware that was a deliberate move
Yeah,
from
yeah,
you.
yeah.
I just want to say I think it works very well. You
Yeah,
know, maybe
yeah.
you can share more around that.
Okay, so I think I once had a conversation with Mondli.
Mm.
Yeah, like I love to mention people.
Yeah, no, it
That
helps.
inspired me a lot. you see.
Mondli Cele.
Yes,
That's my guy.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
my guy.
yeah.
You know.
So there was
No, my mom is Cele, so Mondli is my uncle.
Okay, that's cool. So there's this saying that in God's kingdom, nothing is wasted. So I think I heard it from him. So basically, that what Simple taught me is that everything that we go through in life,
Yeah,
I kind of feel like it is there for a reason.
sure.
So for myself to actually get to go through failure and everything,
Yeah.
it's like God knew that one day you are going to be associated with young people. It's like He knew that there are people who are going to come to you
Yeah.
with different stories,
Yeah.
with different challenges,
Yeah.
So my story was going to be something that they're going to relate with.
Sure.
So someone coming to me talking about failure, something that I've went through it, I'm going to understand that thing. And I'm going to share the sentiment.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm actually going to help them from a point of view like, okay, I relate. I've been there before.
Sure.
And here at the back, I actually wrote something here by Eleanor Roosevelt. She said that we must learn from the mistakes of others.
Sure.
We cannot live long enough
That's
to
wisdom.
learn that by ourselves.
That's
You
wisdom.
see, so actually when I was writing this book, I wanted people to actually realize that, hey, it's good to learn from the safe side. You do not need to go through the same thing that others have struggled with.
Yeah.
So I'm actually that person who believes that no one wants to struggle with something that someone has gone through before. So when I was sharing my stories, I wanted to inspire others, that they need to know that, hey, they don't need to work this journey.
Yeah.
It ends with that guy.
Yeah.
It ends with my sister who maybe became pregnant. It ends with my brother who became a drunkard. You see, I shouldn't go and find out the same way that they did.
Yeah.
Because like now they are on that point of regret. We do not want people to actually get to that. So that's what inspired me to actually get to use my own story so that people can actually get to resonate with it. Yeah.
No, that's big. That's big. And you saying it so well because it's well articulated in the pages of this book. And another thing, man, that as I was reading this book, getting wowed again, it was like I think there are some of the things that you keep doing in the book, and I like them because I've battled with people that are not doing it, and one thing that stands out for me again is this issue of you. Every time you have a problem, you highlight somebody that you had to go to, again, coming back to what you've just said, a lot of people are drowning and battling because they know that I want to be a doctor, but here's a person who's a doctor. They're not going to them to really interact with them, and I don't know, because my upbringing was so different. Even now, when I go back home where I grew up, guys make fun of me. Because when dancing was the thing, everybody was dancing. I will go to those who could dance better and talk to them and ask them, man, I want to be a dancer, If it was drawing and they knew these guys were good at drawing, I will go to them and talk to them, man, please teach me, Whenever, whether it was soccer playing or anything, I was forever going to people who were doing it best, and talk to them about them having to help me, And I see you. In your pages, you do that a lot. That whether you were struggling with maths, whether there's something that was giving you a hard time, you always had somebody who was doing this thing. Whether it was fear of transition to the varsity level, you will pinpoint somebody who had gone through that, and then interact with them. I just like that because whenever I go back home, I'm not claiming to have achieved a lot in life, but when I look at some of the guys, I like, man, I'm here for you, it's just, just avail yourself because again, it might appear as if maybe I'm full of pride when I go around telling people that, I can help you, but, you long for people to approach you and seek help, So I think, man, reading the book, I felt that was so deliberate coming from you, you were so strategic that I'm going to mention the people who have helped me. Every time I was in a predicament, this is somebody I spoke to, Yeah. Please share around that as well,
Okay, so for me, I actually wanted to introduce the concept of mentorship, like what mentorship is actually all about. So this is how I define mentorship, that there needs to be someone of a certain level of expertise. So when you're being mentored, you need to make sure that that person, they've got a skill, they've got expertise, they are good at what they're doing. Like that is important. That's very critical.
That's key.
You see? So that's why I was showing that, okay, when I was struggling with maths, I needed somebody who's good at maths, who's going to help me. And I know that if I go to a person who's good, I'm going to come back with confidence. So that's why mentors are there, to actually get to make our life easier. So I want people to actually get to have a better experience than their mentors. That's something that I've said on the book. That we need to actually get to have a better experience from your mentor. So when I started my book, I was actually saying that I wish, I was an author of life, because I was going to actually give a life manual.
I saw that. That was so well articulated.
So I wanted that to be something that people can relate with. That okay, it's okay. We might not have a manual, but we can actually write our own manuals.
Absolutely.
We can learn from others. We can learn from our parents. We can learn from our church leaders. We can learn from different places. So that's what I wanted to articulate to the people.
You've done it so well.
So
there was a clip that I once shared on Facebook, that I recorded and shared. It was a concern from my side. I would like you to share on that as well. The biggest concern that I had was there seems to be this big cloud now that is engulfing us, or is hovering over us. Where people rush to be gurus at certain topics, but when you scrutinize them, you find that they've never done anything. These days it's easy to just jump on your YouTube or Facebook and just talk about things that you have no idea about.
Exactly.
I do have people obviously who have not excelled in certain areas or certain fields, but I still do give them an ear because of their personality and the things that they've achieved in other things. But I think there's a danger now when we have these motivators. I'll just put it that way. You have these motivators who have so much to say, but when you scrutinize their lives, you can't really tell what is it that they've done, other than talking. It's good when people talk and they encourage, but we do want to see things that are tangible as well. So I think I would like you to share on that as we we begin to wrap up, because I strongly feel, because I strongly feel you would want people to be able to choose mentors as well. If maybe somebody were to choose a mentor, what are some of the things that you feel in relation to what I've just said? Some of the things that you feel are very, very important when you choosing a mentor.
Okay, so this is something that Robert Kiyosaki said. He said that mentors in life are important, so you need to choose them wisely. So it needs to be something that you need to consider carefully. Firstly, you need to be mentored by someone that you know.
Sure.
So because I think I've actually wrote it in my book, that I once took some time to ask young people who were their mentors, and then they will tell me the names of these motivational speakers that they know from the internet and all that. You see, and I was like, okay, it's good. We can actually get inspired by those people.
Sure.
But the problem becomes the fact that you cannot converse with them. You see, that's the problem. So when you look for a mentor, you actually need to look for someone that you'll be able to hold a conversation with. When you have a problem, you go to them. You see, so
that's big.
Those speakers,
that's big.
They're covering a general audience,
but
big. You actually need to become the audience of your mentor. You see,
no,
so
that's big.
I said it here on my book that I said it in one of the pages that you need, your mentors actually needs to be someone who will get to know you very well, and that will help them, to actually get to help you, because if you open up to them, it must be someone that you close to, that you can open up to, because if you're being mentored by someone that you cannot even open up to, you're not going to get assistance. You're gonna be shy. You have problems, but because you're shy, you won't be able to go to them. So it has to be someone that you're free with, you're comfortable with, you can engage with. You see, and obviously they need to know what they're doing. You actually need to get some time, to scrutinize their lives. Will I be learning here something tangible from these people? Because at the end of the day, you do not want someone who's going to lead you astray.
You
want someone who's you want someone who's going to make sure that you're going in the right direction. So I was actually inspired by the words, I think it's a former CEO of Deloitte Africa, Razibam, I think it's Zulu. So he said that there's nothing that beats the journey of being mentored by someone who has walked the journey before. So
that's unique.
I mean,
that's unique
for someone who has gone. For example, you're an author. You have wrote the book. You have been there. You know the challenges. So when I come, I know that actually I'm coming to a source of knowledge. This is someone, they know the challenges. They know the kind of things that upcoming authors are going to face. So when I come to you, you'll be able to share things to me. You're not going to hide things to me.
Absolutely.
So you actually need to find someone who won't feel like, hey, this guy I think is going to overtake me. Because I think I've seen that in music. I think I've seen that in music. Like the upcoming generation, they often plays better than the guys who played, before them. Because now they're building up on something from others, and now they get to add theirs. You see? So I've seen it from the local churches, where people are playing. You find that, okay, so now, let's say I'm a pianist, I'm playing, and then there's also another young one, but the young one, he kind of plays better than me. So sometimes you find that actually people, they actually get to leave churches, because they kind of feel like that guy, the young man, is now a competition to them. And now it's all about self-gratitude. It's no longer about saving God. So you see, so those things are very important. When you choose a mentor, you must be willing to find a person that you know you can learn from. And that person, they won't have a problem with you overtaking them. You know, whether your book, it becomes a best national seller and theirs is not, they're going to be happy for you.
Yeah, that's correct.
You know,
that's correct.
They're not going to be someone who's going to sideline back, like, okay, so like this guy now is up there, you know, I need to go back. You know, you're gonna find somebody who needs, you know, to help you. Someone who's going to be happy for you. And someone who's actually going to care. Because I've heard stories of people, you know, and mentorship where you find like, okay, that person is my mentor, but when you look at them, they do not interact. It's just the title, the mentor. But you need somebody who is going to genuinely care for you. Somebody who's going to invest in that mentorship. So I think these are some of the things that you need to consider when you choose a mentor. You must find someone that you know you can learn from, you can relate with, and someone on your level. Because at the end of the day, you do not want, you know, to be inspired by someone that you know you cannot reach. You know, for them you feel like a burden. You don't want that. You want someone that you know, like, okay, I can confidently talk with this person, and whether I'm still here and they're there, you know, the difference, it won't make me feel belittled by them. So
no, it's quite amazing, because I've also covered that on my other book, where you find that in fatherhood, there are some of the instances, different different areas I won't mention, where you find that fathers are threatened by their sons. You know?
Exactly.
You know, in some cultures and backgrounds, you find that it's an insult when a son achieves more than a father. You know. But I've seen in instances as well. For an example, my wife, Nompilo, is mentored by this lady, a wonderful lady, colleague. She's a CEO. I mean, she's a CA. She's a wonderful lady. I've seen her wanting nothing but the best for my wife, you know. So, you know, when you have a mentor like that, people who want nothing but the best for you, you have it all, you know. Each and every achievement of yours, it fulfills them, you know. They find fulfillment in seeing you making it. But having said that, I think another thing that is very important, because some people, they tend to confuse friends and mentors, you know. For an example, I have the likes of Remy Govender, Dennis Solomon, you know. Those are people that I look up to, you know. We do call one another friends now and then, but I don't just crowd their space as well. I go to them when I need them. I think that is that is very unique as well. You go to them when you need them, so that you know, you don't just get bored and be like, okay, I see, let me just talk to this guy, you know. You know, and what I've seen with mentors as well, they don't get offended when you come to them because you need them. Obviously, you need to check on them now and then, how they're doing and all that. But the ability to keep that space, you know, because they are your mentors, it means they're at another level, you know. I've found that with management as well. You know, managers will have their own stress, you know. So you don't rock up in their office any time of the day and thinking that they will have your time, you know. But the ability to make time for that, you know. And lastly, before I ask you for your closing remarks, because this book is so vast, we can't cover it even if we were to put aside 5 hours. You know, there's so much to cover here. But what I wanted to say, you know, a lot of people are not aware that these people that we so admire, some of them, it just takes asking them for a meeting, you know. Ask them for coffee, you know. Save maybe 30 rand or 40 rand and just say, please, let's go for coffee. And when you invite them, just try and pay, you know. The person is a mentor, they're giving so much to you. Just buy some coffee there. For 40 rand, you should be able to get 2 cups, you know. And then, you know, just make time, you know. For an example, let's say you see somebody and you ask them to be your mentor and they say no. It's just a no, you know. Just try somebody else, you know. You don't have to have fear that what if they say no? What if they speak bad towards me? No, just go there. And if you get disappointed, it's fine. Knock on the other door, you know. Man, there's so much I needed us to cover on this book. But I'm happy with what we've covered, because I think what we've covered is so vast and very important.
Yeah.
It's very important, you know,
Yeah.
and I strongly believe that a lot of people will benefit from this book.
Yeah.
Obviously, we don't have to cover each and everything because people need to get this book.
Yeah, they need to get a copy.
A letter to my mentee.
Yeah.
You're gonna be giving us all your details shortly.
Yeah.
But again, another thing that I saw you doing very well is this
Yeah.
transition from high school
Yeah.
to the
varsity.
tertiary level,
Yeah.
of which obviously the viewers will be getting this book, and
Yeah.
we don't have to tell them everything.
Yeah.
But man, your closing remarks,
Yeah.
you know, yeah, I think there's so much, man, from this book, and
Yeah.
you know, I'm gonna tell you about me.
Okay.
I don't know. I tried by all means not to say a lot because I wanted to interview you.
Yeah.
But when I write a book, there's one thing that I always strive for. There's this thing that pushes me. That
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Tulane, should you die not having written or published this book,
Mm-hmm.
you would have failed. You know, so that pushes me to work around the clock.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah.
I know that God, I pray for your life that God, there's still so much that God has
Yeah.
put in you.
Yeah.
But there's this peace that comes when you've done something of this nature, you know, that I've done it, you know,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know, maybe in my case, I'll just say, I don't care what happens from here, you know. I've written this book I wanted to write, and I know that it's gonna have an impact in
Yeah.
people's life, you know.
Yeah.
You find that peace, you
Yeah.
know. So yeah, man, I somehow have a feeling that as much as I believe God has still installed a lot in you.
Yeah.
But this book,
Yeah.
man, your kids will read this book.
Wow.
Generations to come will read this book, and
Yeah.
they'll be able to navigate
Wow.
through life, you know.
Thank you. Yeah.
So I think for me, that gives me fulfillment whenever
Yeah.
I reach that point where
Yeah.
I've done something of that magnitude, of that
Yeah.
nature. So your closing remarks, my brother.
Okay, well, I would say to actually people out there, I think when I was writing this book, I was inspired by a lady called Lupita Nyong'o.
Yeah, yeah.
So she said that no matter where you're from, your dreams are valid.
Sure.
So I come from the villages, you know, but I didn't let my background to stop me from becoming an author. And I didn't let my background, you know, to stop me from aspiring to become a chartered accountant.
Sure.
So even you out there, you have good dreams, you know, you've got aspiration, whether it's to be a soccer star, a movie writer, a play writer, whether you want to become an author, a singer, anything, your dreams are valid, you know, and you need to start affirming yourself every day. You need to work hard towards yourself. So basically your background, what I'm saying is that your background shouldn't be like your stumbling block.
Absolutely,
It
absolutely.
should be your inspiration that actually you want to become something better. You want to change the situation at your home. You know, you want to give them a better life. You know, you want also your kids to have something different that you didn't have. You want to bring something new, you know, into your line, into your generation. You want to start something new that when your kids look at you, they'll be inspired to work hard. That's what you want to live out there. And also to the people who have made it in life, please look at other young people in the
Sure,
community.
that's big. Yeah.
Make an impact that matters. I think the world can become a better place if every day, each person, they can find one person that they can impact. You know, you won't lose anything from spending some time, you know, take someone to lunch,
Yeah.
have a conversation with them, check on someone. Like matriculants right now are about to go and write their final exam. You can get them this book as a gift, you know,
Yeah.
wishing them all the best for their exams. You see,
Yeah.
you can actually go every time, inspire them, ask how was trial exam. Because trial exam, it was hectic. Most of them, maybe they've already given up. But you need to go there and bring back that hope. You know, you need to go inspire them. So I would advise you today, when you meet someone from your community, if they're young people, do reach out to them. And also to young people, please, don't be shy to reach out to people when you need help.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
Because like we assume that, hey, these people, they're bad, they won't respond to us. But actually, it's not the case. When you go, you actually find that these are nice people. They actually want to do this thing. They actually, you know, they've been looking for people to help.
Yeah.
But people are not
Yeah.
reaching out to them.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
do reach out to them. And as for you, your dreams are valid. And I wish you all the very best in your life.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my closing remarks.
My brother,
Yes.
I'm proud of you.
Thank you so much.
But most of all, I thank God for you, man. You know,
Yeah.
the heart that God has given you.
Yeah.
It's quite amazing.
Thank you so much.
And yeah, at a distance, you are this shy
I
guy that
know,
doesn't
like,
say much,
yeah, I
you know.
but
Now, you know, when you get to interact with you, like, hey,
Yeah.
there's so much, you know. For an example, for me, I got to
Yeah.
know you better when we had to travel to a funeral,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
that long
yeah.
distance. I got to know you as much as you were still in your corner there, but I was
Yeah,
like, hey,
so-
this guy's a great thinker here. So
Yeah.
we truly thank God for you.
Thank you so much.
You are an asset in the kingdom. So
Yeah.
we thank you so much for that. And
Yeah.
to our viewers, please don't forget to like the page. It's Thulani Yeye Gumede.
Yeah.
And we're also going to be uploading this video on our YouTube, Thulani Yeye Gumede. But before we go, I would like our brother here to give us his contact details, especially for people looking for this wonderful book by our favorite author.
Okay, so my cell phone number is 076-5639-754. You can contact me on WhatsApp, you can send a text, or you can also find me on social media. I'm available on Instagram and Facebook at Rotondama Cindy, and I also have a page on Facebook called A Letter to My Mentee. So if you want a copy of this book, then yeah, you can surely contact me. It's only 130.
That's an investment.
Yes.
130 for this book.
Yeah.
Look at it.
Yeah.
My brother, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for your time.
Okay.
To our viewers, I just want to say God is love.
Yeah.
God is love. I've said it all. God is love. I don't care where you are. I don't care what you're going through. I don't care what you faced yesterday or what's going to be happening tomorrow. The main thing is God is love.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching Yeah Show. More videos to come. Thank you. Yay!